Welcome to Catalyst Conversations, the podcast where we spark powerful change in women's wealth. I'm Hadriana, a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist, and each week we dive into the conversations, strategies, and stories that help women confidently create the life they've always dreamed of. In this space, we bring together the wisdom of people from all walks of life who are ready to break free from the cycle of financial stress and build lasting wealth. From interviews with inspiring people, to deep dives into money mindset, to practical tips for achieving financial freedom, you'll find it all here. Together, we'll unlock the mindset, tools, and strategies that empower you to step into your financial power. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a loyal listener, we're here to support your wealth journey. So grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and let's get started on transforming your relationship with money. This is Catalyst Conversations, igniting change in women's wealth. Let's spark the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Catalyst Conversations. And today I am sharing with you my 2 cents. Now, I get to give you my opinions, which are very interesting sometimes, but certainly my take on some of what's happening in the world around us and how it impacts us as citizens, as women, as investors, as wealth creators. And oh my goodness, have the last few weeks not given me a million things to talk about? But hey, I filtered it down to 3 key ideas. So, as of the last few weeks, we started the new year. So, I am doing this in January of 2025. Well, here's what's happened so far. Um, in the last few weeks, the Prime Minister of Canada has resigned after a whole lot of posturing and requests to resign and power playing and all that jazz. Mr. Trudeau resigned and will be stepping aside as soon as a replacement can be found. With our neighbors to the south, this month, we have the reinstatement of a former president, a troubled president, a felon, has been reinstated as the president of these here United States of America. And as with most Januaries, if not all Januaries, this is the month of resolution. So today, I'm going to talk to you about resignations, reinstatements, and resolutions and how they are impacting your wealth journey. I can tell you that I am not thrilled. I am not thrilled by a lot of what's happening. And in the case of resignations and reinstatements, this is largely political. Largely political, and I feel largely out of our control. Um, it's a horrible feeling, especially for me, um, to see what's happening in the world around me. That I feel useless to change or adjust or do anything about. And it's one of the things that I am, in all honesty, struggling with. So here I am, the money navigator, trying to inspire hope in women and in their families that we can create wealth that is purposeful, that is intentional, that, creates changes in the world that we want to see. And this poop storm is happening all around me. Um, I'll be honest and say that I'm not sure what to do, but I'll also tell you that in our experiences, if you look at the history of the world, great things have happened and great change can occur when you face these kinds of pressures. A lot of good can come out of that when we're dealing with extremes. So, what are we going to do? There is a lot happening politically that is going to translate directly to people's wallets. And we need to kind of understand what's happening. Truth, you may never understand what's happening. Okay, let's just be clear. There are so many people moving chess pieces in all these different places that we may never actually get a full understanding of what really is happening around us. And there are powers at play. We don't even see the hand. So, part of this is trying to understand as much as you can based on the information that you have been provided or that's available to you. So, we're having a lot of information thrown at us. We need to use our discernment. We need to use our spirit guides to help us figure out truth from error and make wise decisions. So, what exactly is happening? Who is doing what and where? We need to filter that down to the salient points that will allow us to understand how is this going to impact me, my family, the people and causes that are dear to my life? The resignation, for example, of Mr. Trudeau, now it's they're hinting at the reversal of some of the programs that have been put in place to put money back in consumers' pockets. If we were to if they were to roll back the gas tax, right? I'm hearing a lot of that. If our conservative people take office, what happens to those of us who are already struggling financially? What are we doing with that? What about the capital gains tax that they're looking to tax a larger portion of capital gains? How we're struggling to invest as it is. Now you're suggesting possibly taxing more of that and having more of that delivered into the coffers of our government. What's going to happen if our neighbors to the south follow through on the threats of tariffs on Canadian exports into that country? How does that translate for you, for your family, for your capacity to earn a living, to keep a job, and actually create a life that you can thrive with? How does all of that translate, and where do we find opportunities to thrive, opportunities to grow? How is all of this going to impact you? Not to mention, listen, we've all made those New Year's resolutions. We have made commitments to ourselves, to the people in our lives, even to our jobs, to our businesses, that now we may have to look back and think, I don't know how I'm going to do this because such and such has changed. The economic environment is changing and it's out of your control. How are you going to make it work? Once you understand how things are likely to impact you, once you understand where you actually want to take yourself or move to in the next few months, in the next few years, we hope we survive the next 4 years. I think it's time for us to innovate. Now, I've said this before, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but there comes a time when we really have to speak up and we need to mobilize. So, how can you innovate? How can you mobilize? How can you take action that's actually going to translate into results, that your voice can be heard, that the impact on you, on your family can be known? Don't assume that everybody knows how you are struggling or how you are either being negatively or positively being impacted by the things that are happening around you. Speak up. Let your voice be heard. We cannot stay silent. A lot of the things that we're experiencing negatively now, it's because we didn't speak up. So we need to speak up. That's one. Then we need to innovate. We need to, I always say, I like to say this. When you know the rules of the game, you can play it to win. So, if the rules are not in your favor, you need to understand and learn how to do the dance. For example, as an entrepreneur, as a human in a country where we are taxed in every corner, left and right, We need to understand how, yes, we will pay taxes because that is how we maintain our society. That's how everyone participates in taking care of each other. You don't need to pay a penny more than you need to just because you don't understand the system. Learn the rules and do what you need to do. By all means, I'm not asking anyone to try to run away from that responsibility. We are in this together. But there's no need for us to be throwing money away because we don't understand. So learn the rules of the game. With the incoming new regimes, the incoming new laws, rules, tariffs, taxes, all of that jazz, we need to take some time to understand its impact, learn the rules, and figure out how we can do this dance. How do we innovate? How do we find a way to still do all of this and be well? Do all of this and not just survive, but thrive? How do we find a way to get through some very unstable times that seem to be looming ahead and create some stability for our families? Well, I can tell you that as a woman, as a Black woman, as an immigrant in a North American country, as a business owner, um, as any number, as a believer, a faith believer, all of these are just the beginning of adjectives that can describe me that put me in the bullseye. It puts me in the crosshairs. And I'm sure you can think of ways that you also feel that what's coming has you as a target. So instead of diving into victimhood, I am going to encourage all of you, every woman who is looking to create wealth for herself, it's time to innovate. Don't sit in victimhood, nothing comes of it. When we sit and we replay the injustices that are being done to us, when we sit in the spot of how everything we try, nothing works, when we sit in that place where the man keeps getting away with all the things, we are we limit our capacity to think creatively and to innovate. We need to now think about, okay, so this is the reality, this is what I'm dealing with. Let's see how we can make the best, the most of this situation and how we can thrive. I don't know what that answer is going to be. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not sitting here trying to pretend that I have answers or that I have solved this and I'm going to sell it to you for a gazillion bucks. No, I'm trying to figure it out myself. But it's one thing I know: women are creative. Women are, we get set to action whenever the things that are important to us are threatened. I am the mother of daughters. My goodness, I feel threatened and I feel for them. So I might not be doing for myself, but by golly, I will get into action for them. So what can we do? How can we innovate? How can we get through this and uh, thrive? How can we get through this and thrive? If it's one thing I want to take away, I want you to take away from this conversation, it's this: we will always have political shenaniganry. We are always going to have these power plays that compromise our wellness, our state of being, whether it's the left or the right, whether it's the green or the blue, whatever they happen to be. There are always going to be these powers at play that are moving needles and using us as pawns. We need to make the decision to thrive regardless. We need to make the decision that, you know what, if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. You do the thing that's going to get you the outcome you desire. The best case scenario, because for real, maybe you might not be able to get everything you want, but by golly, you're going to innovate so you can get as good as it could possibly get for the situation or circumstances that you're facing. So I just want to encourage you today with all of the resignations, reinstatements, and your own resolutions. Don't throw your dreams out because of all of the craziness that's happening out there. Hold on to the dream. The dream was given to you for a reason. You were given that purpose, that message. That desire was put in your heart for a reason. So don't go throwing it away because you're seeing the nonsense that's happening out there. Hold on to the dream. Don't let it go. Don't give it up. If you give it up, someone else has won, and that's a long term win. Hold on to that dream and innovate. Ask for guidance, seek out support, because when wealth is in women's hands, good things happen in the world. So don't you dare give up. I mean, you could give up. It's not like I'm going to come find you where you are and force you to take your dream up again and work it. I mean, I won't do that, but I really, really implore you, don't give up. Hold on to the dream that was planted. Hold on to the desire that was put in there, and allow all the rest of it to fall away. Allow yourself the opportunity to creatively devise ways to live and thrive and nurture and build and grow and do all of that good stuff. So, do your best. Do your best. And perhaps you have an opinion on my 2 cents. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you agree. Let me know in the comments. Drop me a line. I'm always happy to get your feedback. But let's push this forward. Don't give up on your dreams. Yeah? At least we can agree on that one. Yes? Please let's agree. So until next time, this has been Catalyst Conversations and this episode of My 2 cents. Thank you so much for being part of that. Remember, subscribe and ring the bell so that you'll know when new episodes are dropping. Until next time, see you later. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyst Conversations. I hope this episode sparked something powerful to help on your journey to building wealth confidently and unapologetically. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep moving toward your goals, stay empowered, and continue sparking change on your wealth journey. This is Hadriana, and you've been listening to Catalyst Conversations.